Bianca Belair has been one of the brightest stars in WWE for several years now. From her early days in NXT to her rise on the main roster, she has been consistently booked as one of the top stars in the women's division. Her performances and ability to evolve as a character have kept her relevant and beloved by fans. But as we look toward 2024, there's a growing concern among many fans that WWE may be heading in a direction that could split the fanbase down the middle. In this video, I'm going to dive into an idea involving Bianca Belair, explain why I'm not a fan of it, and share why I hope it doesn't come to fruition. Over the years, Bianca Belair has evolved in ways that showcase her versatility as a performer. Her time in NXT demonstrated that she was a major talent, but it was on the main roster that she truly solidified herself as a force to be reckoned with. She went on to win multiple championships, including the SmackDown Women's Championship, and put on some of the most memorable matches of her career, including her WrestleMania 37 match against Sasha Banks, which was a historic moment for WWE. However, there's been an interesting shift in her role lately. While Bianca has always been a single star, 2024 marked a significant change in her trajectory. The biggest shift came at the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble match, where the debut of Jade Cargill was one of the most talked about moments of the show. Cargill, who had a dominant run in AEW before jumping to WWE, immediately became a contender to the top spots in WWE's women's division. She had a face-off with Bianca during the match, but fans were disappointed that they didn't get to see more interaction between them. From that point on, it became clear that WWE was setting up Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill as a duo. The two women were paired together in a tag team, and in a surprising twist, they won the Women's Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania 40. This was a huge moment for both women, and it solidified their place as a top-tier team. However, there's been some uncertainty since then. Cargill has been sidelined due to an undisclosed injury, and in the meantime, Bianca has teamed up with Naomi, who has filled in for Cargill in their tag team matches. This situation is where things start to get complicated, with Cargill injured and Naomi now serving as Bianca's tag partner. The question arises, what happens to the Women's Tag Team Championships? The idea that has been floated by WWE is that if Cargill is able to return, she and Bianca will pick up where they left off and defend the titles together. But in the meantime, Naomi and Bianca have kept the titles, which raises an interesting possibility for WWE's storytelling going forward. Recently, WWE has been teasing the idea of a mystery attacker who injured Jade Cargill. Speculation has been rampant as fans try to figure out who was responsible. There are rumors swirling that it could have been Bianca Belair, Naomi, or even someone else entirely. This mystery angle has sparked discussions about what direction WWE might take with the storyline. Personally, I've been thinking about this scenario and what it could mean for Bianca's character and her future in WWE. At first, I was all for a potential feud between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. The idea of these two strong, athletic women going head-to-head for the first time in WWE is exciting. However, after some thought and consideration, I've started to realize that this might not be the right time for such a feud, and that the potential reveal of Bianca as the attacker could end up backfiring in a big way. Here's why. The idea of Bianca being revealed as the mystery attacker would certainly be a bold one. If WWE chooses to go down that path, it would create a shocking moment that would undoubtedly leave fans talking. However, based on what I've seen in the reaction of fans across various platforms, I don't think it's the right move. For months, I've seen people express their excitement for the possibility of Bianca and Jade having a singles match, but they don't want to see the two women turn on each other just yet. The majority of fans I've come across are not ready for that feud, and if WWE were to go down this path, I think it would lead to a lot of backlash. Bianca Belair is one of the most beloved babyfaces in WWE today. She has an incredible connection with the audience, and turning her heel at this point would be a huge risk. Fans have invested a lot in her journey, and a sudden betrayal of Jade Cargill would feel forced and could harm Bianca's reputation. She's been booked as the ultimate underdog turned champion, and her character has been consistently portrayed as someone fans can root for. Turning her heel, especially in this situation, could create an immense amount of backlash. On the other hand, a Jade Cargill heel turn would make more sense. Cargill, who has a history of being a dominant heel in AEW, could transition into a villainous role in WWE with relative ease. She's a powerhouse, and her character would naturally lend itself to being a heel. Moreover, given that she's already drawing sympathy from fans due to her injury and the mystery surrounding her attack, the seeds are already planted for a heel turn. WWE could have her return and turn on Bianca, claiming that she's tired of playing second fiddle to her and wants to reclaim her spot at the top of the division. This would be a much more natural fit for both women's characters, and it would help elevate the feud in the long run. But there's another angle that makes more sense to me, Naomi being the mystery attacker. Naomi's return to WWE earlier this year was met with a lot of excitement, but since then, she hasn't been involved in any major storylines. She's been part of the tag team division, but she hasn't been able to capture the same level of success that Bianca and Jade have enjoyed. This could be where the resentment begins to build. Naomi has been on the sidelines, watching Bianca and Jade enjoy the success that she's been craving. She's been close to both of them, but hasn't been able to break through on her own. The idea of Naomi secretly harboring resentment and deciding to take out Jade Cargill to steal her spot would make for a compelling storyline. It's not a full-blown heel turn, but it's a gradual descent into the darker side of her character. Naomi could come to the realization that if she wants to find success, she has to eliminate the people who are standing in her way. This would be a much more organic heel turn for Naomi, and it would allow her to gradually evolve into a more villainous character over time. I truly believe that Naomi's involvement in this storyline could bring a fresh dynamic to the women's tag team division. She could serve as the catalyst for further drama between Bianca, Jade, and herself, and the fans would have a lot of interest in seeing how her character develops. WWE could even use Naomi's slow burn heel turn to build up a bigger feud with Bianca Belair, which would be a long-term story that fans could invest in. It's a storyline that feels natural and organic, and one that could give Naomi the push she needs to re-establish herself as a top talent in WWE. While the possibility of a Bianca vs. Jade feud is exciting on paper, I don't think it's the right time. WWE has done an excellent job building up their women's tag team division, and the pairing of Bianca and Jade has been a key part of that success. They're two top-tier stars who bring credibility to the titles, and their work together has helped elevate the division. In a time where WWE is expanding both Raw and SmackDown to 3 hours, and with the introduction of new titles, it's important to keep the women's tag team division strong. Bianca and Jade, as champions, have been essential in keeping the division relevant. In the end, I hope that WWE chooses the path that will not only make the most sense for the characters involved but also keep the fans happy. The last thing we need is for the company to take a risk that could potentially backfire and divide the fan base. A Bianca and Jade feud could work down the line, but right now, it feels too soon. WWE needs to build the tension slowly and allow these characters to evolve in a way that feels natural. If they go down the route of Naomi being the attacker, it could create a compelling story that not only elevates her character but also strengthens the overall women's division in WWE. The road ahead for Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill is full of potential, but WWE must be careful about how they navigate these storylines. If they're not careful, they could risk losing the momentum they've worked so hard to build.